They put chains on his body, but they could never chain his destiny. The kingdom of Kano was built on strength. Its warriors were its pride. And among all the warriors, Zuba stood above them all. He moved like water. He thought like fire. He fought like a force of nature. By 25, he had won 30 battles. The king called him his right hand. The people called him invincible. Then the enemy came, not from the front, but from all sides. At night, without warning. It was not a battle, it was a trap. Zuba fought. He took down 7 men before they brought him down. Not with a sword, but with a net. When morning came, he found himself on the ground, hands bound, feet bound, surrounded. The enemy commander looked at him, still fierce, still proud, still dangerous, even in chains. Chain him separately, the commander said. This one is different. He was right. Zuba was already planning. They took him to the Kingdom of Dara. 3 weeks of walking in chains. But Zuba did not look down. He looked around, studying, memorizing, planning. He learned their language in 4 months, their customs, their politics, the layout of the palace, every corridor, every exit, every guard post. He did his work quietly, without complaint, without drawing attention, and waited. Because patience is the greatest weapon of a man who knows his moment is coming. 2 years in, an assassin came for the king. Zuba heard the footsteps. Wrong, too quiet, too deliberate. He moved, put himself between the assassin and the king's door. No weapon, just his training, his instincts, his body. The assassin went down, hard. The king came to the corridor. Why? The king asked. Because it was right, Zuba said, in perfect Dara language. The king stared. Who are you really? And for the first time in 2 years, Zuba told the truth. All of it. From today, you are no longer a slave. You are my advisor. 3 years later, war came. The kingdom of Volta declared war on Dara. Twice the army, 3 times the resources. A commander who had never lost. The generals had no answers. Zuba stood. I will need full command of the army. No interference, no second guessing, total trust, and 1 week to prepare. A slave commanding our army? The generals erupted. Former slave, Zuba said calmly. And if you have a better plan, I am listening. Silence. You have your week, the king said. Zuba's strategy was unlike anything they had seen. He found a narrow valley, divided the army into 3, the smallest part visible, appearing weak, the second part hidden on the slopes, the third circling behind to close the exit. When Volta's army marched in, they saw exactly what Zuba wanted. Easy prey. Their commander smiled and ordered the advance into the valley. When the last soldier entered, Zuba gave the signal. The slopes erupted. The exit closed. The battle was over in 2 hours. The commander who had never lost surrendered to a man who had arrived in chains. The king called Zuba forward. Name your reward, anything in my kingdom. Zuba was quiet, then spoke, 3 words at a time. My freedom, my people, and my throne. The court went silent. The king looked at him for a very long time, then stood and bowed. All 3 are granted. With the army of Dara behind him, Zuba marched home. When word spread, the kingdom erupted. People lined the roads, women sang, children ran, old men wept. Zuba walked through his gates. For the first time in 5 years, he stopped in the center of the market, knelt, and touched his earth with both hands, then rose and took his throne. Old Tortoise spoke that evening. What kept you going? In the chains, in the captivity, in the years of waiting. I never forgot who I was, Zuba said. They took my name, they took my freedom, they took my position, but they could not take my identity. Because identity does not live in a title. It lives here. He placed his hand on his chest. And as long as I knew who I was, I knew where I was going. The chains were temporary, but my destiny was permanent. Whatever has chained you today, poverty, failure, rejection, other people's opinions, remember Zuba, the man they sold, who came back a king. They can chain your body, they can take your position, but they can never, ever chain your greatness. Subscribe to Africa Untold, where every story carries a lesson. Stay wise, stay strong. Africa Untold.